Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, another wondrous Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, a 1 vs 1 on Langraskaya, but this time in the summertime, or springtime, at least somewhere where there's not snow everywhere. We shall be watching Starofthewar fighting for the Soviet Union for the 3rd Guard Rifle Corps, going up here against Fortune of the Wehrmacht of the SS Panzerbrigade Gross, a hastily put together formation of different training units and thrown into the battle somewhere in Army Group North-Nava. I can't exactly remember when it changed and all that. Company is quickly moving towards the west, whereas we see conscripts moving towards the east. Swift move there with the Infanterie Company, securing the points over there. Grenadiers on the way. Deutsches Infanterie. The SS Panzerbrigade Gross was then combined with the 101st Panzer Brigade and was formed into apparently a bit of an ad hoc Panzer Division. Though the name of the Panzer Division at the moment escapes me a bit, though they also fought separately. The brigades, that is. But, little fun fact there for you. And the SS Panzer Brigade definitely was a bit particular, since again it wasn't really a, proper brigade formation of the Panzer Brigade, but again basically just a bunch of training formation that is SS Panzer Grenadier Brigades or regiments thrown into it with some armor, which was basically tanks meant for training to a certain extent. Pretty aggressive move here so far. He's actually spreading out far across the map. A bit dangerous play, I would say, there from Fortune, but I suppose at the same time he might be already worrying here what's going on. We're also seeing that Starofthewar is pushing both flanks pretty hard, in fact rushing for straight for both fuel points. Bloody hell. My apologies. And that of course hopes to gain the fuel, of course also make it a lot harder for his opponent to gain. This of course is pretty dangerous right here from Fortune, but apparently he's feeling a bit confident there. Pioneers versus Companies in the west. Pioneers to enjoy the heavy cover. Grenadiers moving up, looks like they might support. And there we go, conscript stopped by the MG42. Another Grenadier squad will be needed here to soon support, otherwise the MG42 will be flanked. But so far a bit of a nice spread here from Starofthewar. And there we go, conscripts moving up to support there. Companies will likely soon go down. And there we go, conscripts rushing in to hit the flank. One squad forced away. Grenadiers and the MG crew, the support gun of course providing a bit of support there with the MP40s. Fighting continues here. Pioneers forced to retreat in the face of Starofthewar's efforts. And the conscripts here not really doing well, even in front of, when they're behind the MB42, they'll still be split by the support gunners. Plus, of course, the Grenadiers, ultimately, this was not really their kind of fight. And there we go, 2 squads of conscripts already a bit maimed. And we see that Fortune is then taking this advantage, of course, then proceed to move up. Grenadiers holding up here in the house versus the conscripts, taking away the mission point, but at the same time, of course, just holding up a squad of conscripts. More conscripts arriving there for Starofthewar, so already 4 squads of them. And we are also noting here this has been a very, very light tier 1 from Fortune. He's already taking on like the mechanized company on the way. Rather bold play there. I mean, he's rather risking a lot. But at the same time, after this engagement, I suppose he is feeling a bit confident and he might be able to pull it off. Grenadiers here upgraded with an LMG. And of course, I mean, it's always generally a good idea, as the Germans, so as quickly as possible, upgrade your Grenadiers with a light machine gun. And there we go, Molotov up, so in that sense, he's in fact slightly vindicated in this move, and of course it also means he's not going to be worrying about anything like, say, a rushed scout car out, as that could be the only real weakness such a move here might have left him with. And then again, a rushed out scout car from his side could have in fact sort of counter that, but definitely a bit different things here going on. Conscripts pushing hard in, of course. Starofthewar not really fond of Grenadiers moving in here. And Fortune here doing the best with his Grenadiers, although they might soon get overwhelmed and wiped out. And there we go, scout car out. And the ever peculiar red and white camouflage applied, which was actually a bit of an emergency measure. In fact, the paint used for camouflage was actually paint meant for the internal sides of the vehicle and the tanks. Not meant for external application, but still used in basically desperate missions. But there we go. Molotov on the MG42. Scout car doing what he can. Of course, he's just seen the Molotovs. He's probably not worrying about too much about anti-tank grenades. Doing what he can here up close with the scout car. Tearing into the conscripts. Mine engagement down here. Grenadiers doing what they can as well there. Conscripts moving in. And we also learn here he's actually setting up mines. He's worried about some sort of armor rush, but apparently decides to cancel instead. Pack on the way. So again, clearly now, the thing that's going on in Fortune's mind is he's worried about some sort of armoured rush from Start of the War. But so far it does not look like Start of the War has any kind of intention towards that. So at the same time, that could leave Fortune a bit vulnerable if Start of the War actually continues to push for infantry fighting. And there we go, Conscript squad actually got wiped here by the combined grenadiers and scout car. Another scout squad charges hit, but very low on health in fact. Very low. And there we go, nicely timed rifle grenade. And scout car abandoned the, not quite dead, but still. Heavy losses to another force there from Start of the War. Flamethrowers equipped for his pioneers. A bit of fire never hurt anyone except the guy who gets hit. Gets hit. Pack rolling out. What shall be next here for Fortune? Alternating doctrines, we are seeing Jaeger armor, spearhead, and joint operations from Start of the War. Guard motor, guard rifles, shock front lines are pretty much the box standard there. And quick rushing into the Cruet. Course wiped up, but it's better than handing it over to the enemy, I suppose. And looks like he's already taking on again Fortune, possessed by some sort of teching demon. Constantly compelled to move to the next tier, it seems, without much respite. But we do see a mortar actually coming out then all of a sudden. A mortar. Granatenwerfer. Still no further sign of actually any taking up going on here from Start of the War so far. Which begs the question what he's planning. And there we go, shock rifle. Infantry doctrine has been chosen, whatever. We are seeing shock troopers arriving. A bit of an investment out there for Start of the War, but then again, considering the timing of the game and sort of the current state of Fortune's forces, it could prove to be quite nice and nasty. Also note how Start of the War continues to push from different angles. He's not just charging up one spot, he's constantly moving about, taking points left and right. This is good, and of course the measure for Fortune, of course, is to sort of, try and lead concentrated assaults. And of course, upgrading his troops to handle this is of course also quite nice. But there we go, shock troopers are charging up the centre. I imagine that Fortune was perhaps a bit unprepared for this. His MG42 already in dire trouble as the SMGs tear into the poor bastards. Mortar also in trouble. Grenadiers over here managing to push away the conscripts. But there we go, MG42 down. Mortar might be the next. Huge losses there being inflicted on Fortune by Start of the War. The shock troopers just pretty much hammering their way through the centre. Definitely a blow that leaves a bit of an impact. We are seeing a support armor corps though on the way. Pioneers doing the with the camera with the flamethrower, but it's going to be limited considering their current veterancy and thus overall durability. And there we go, flamethrower tank burst open. This is not looking good for Fortune. He just lost a large part of his army, an important part. It's only the parts that could actually really stop the shock troopers. His only real hope now is something from the support armor corps to turn the tide. And currently we are seeing Start of the War running rampant. And certainly now would be a good timing for Start of the War to begin mining up stuff to make it harder for his opponent to actually lead a counterattack and actually begin taking back ground. At least that will be my initial thoughts on the matter here. Shock troopers leading a charge here, running straight into two machine gun bunkers, conspicuously placed to clear that. And of course, because it's light machine guns, these shock troopers are actually getting hammered quite a bit. Surprisingly quite a bit. And there you go, quick grenade there, killing poor Gustav. But still the shock troopers are of course quite durable, so The Grenadiers might want to consider getting out. And there we go. In fact, the shock troopers end up retreating. And a squad of Panzer Grenadiers. Looks like Fortune is putting things out a bit. In fact, it's time to have a look at Star of the War now. Knowing 3 squads of conscripts, shock troopers, the MD-42, and the German mortars. So basically, Star of the War is really taking advantage of the losses inflicted, of course. Now he just needs to begin again mining. He needs to make it difficult for his opponent to take that ground. Trip wire flares could be one way, for example, quickly doing something about that.
Replacements have arrived.
And there we go, support weapon company up now. Might be he's moving on. Of course, question is how will Star of the War make his way back from... Well, Fortune make his way back from this. Counter squad here being hit by the Panzer Grenadiers, already dropping 1 man there, and of course that's a bit the weakness of the Panzer Grenadiers. They're quite tough in terms of all the bullets they can fire, but they're pretty much about as vulnerable as Grenadiers, which does mean you can very quickly end up losing a bunch of them if you're not careful. And it's only really at Veteran 2 that begins seriously excelling. And looks like a conscript squad actually got wiped out. And right over here on the right flank by the looks of it, Pioneers once more equipped with flamethrowers might soon get Veteran 2, which definitely be a huge boon to them. And make it much harder for Star of the War to actually do something about them. And there we go. Conscript squad pushed away. And a fresh counterattack. MD-42 mortar functioning as pretty much a center here of Star of the War's forces. Grenadiers are getting overwhelmed, hit by the flank by the shock troopers. And there we go, quickly retreating the Grenadiers. Good timing there. Might there soon be something here from the support armor corps. We are seeing that Star of the War is moving on. Mechanized armor compagnie, he's perhaps sensing the way things are going. He's not seen an awful lot of infantry. In fact, he's seen very little overall from Fortune. He's not seen, a lot of this or a lot of that. So he might, of course, be expecting, my opponent's probably rushing for armor. I need to get something that can more specifically deal with this. And in this case, he figures, I'll go for mechanized armor compagnie, since I feel like I've already got some stuff that can pretty solidly handle infantry. In this case, the shock troopers, the MD-42 mortars and whatnot. Looks like we are seeing a doctrine choice here. By the sound of things, aerial reconnaissance. And an Austrian flak panzer arriving. Quickly giving Fortune an idea of Star of the War's dispositions. And of course also letting him know that it's pretty much currently nothing to worry about for his Ostwind. Nothing seriously anyways. But of course he's also going to be aware that there's a mechanized armor company on the way. But no field guns at the moment. So pushing up here with the Ostwind. Panzer Grenadiers versus shock troopers. This is largely in the favour of the shock troopers. And the Panzer Grenadiers quickly retreat, realising this. Ostwind continues up here, digging in towards the centre. Conscripts pulling up behind the MD-42, but that won't save them from the Ostwind. Oh, he might have just pulled out a bit too close there. Then again, we actually see the conscripts getting a bit bundled up there, which does increase the chance of the Ostwind basically doing some nasty damage there due to its high AoE. MD-42 push away. Shock troops heading up the flank there. Good job. We also see some flank work here from the Grenadiers with an LMG, which certainly makes them quite hard for a small counterattack force to deal with. So there we go. With the Ostwind at the lead, Fortune has now managed to force away Star of the War.
Are attempting to capture our territory.
And so the question is, perhaps he might have gone for a field gun first before he went for this, but such are things. Might also be an idea for him to get a medic bunker up. Shock troops here spotted by the Ostwind, caught in the retreat path. That's a very dangerous situation, in fact. Will the Ostwind be able to get a nice wipe there? Also noting both Grenadier squads now upgraded with light machine guns. And there we go, Ostwind coming under fire from the H-85. Oh, we might see... Oh, shock troopers went down. Shock troopers went down. A huge blow right there. For Star of the War, they were Veterans 1 closing in on Veterans 2. That's definitely going to hurt. The Martic Grenadiers will actually go down in response. It looks like they somehow managed it.
Combat engineers.
Larger force moving in here. Star of the War not messing about. Not just the communists, but his, well, remaining infantry at the moment.
Enemy fire!
Quick rifle grenade as a parting gift before they get the hell out of there.
Su-85, combat ready. What do you need?
Mortar doing what I can. Not sure what kind of game here Fulton is playing with his flak panzer, but it doesn't seem that good. In fact, he's rather exposing it, but might have been actually an attempt to bait out the Su-85 in front of the Pak 40, in which case that's actually pretty damn clever. Another reconnaissance move, it would seem. Good use of that. I'm going to guess, though, he went for spearhead doctrine. And there we go, now going to hit the flank, going for the cut-off point there. Good, good. And the Howards are going up. No, he's not gone for that. He's gone for joint operations. Setting up selective Feldhaubitz. Flanking the pack there. Good job, good job. Nice assault there from Star of the War. Constantly finding the path where he can easily hit the weak spots. Good job. And there we go, recruiting the pack. Destroying the engine of the Ostwind. Well done, Star of the War. Gutes Arbeit. That's a good job there, Vasily. Good lord, have you been drinking the antifreeze again? But H-85 quickly pulling up, very aggressive position. We are seeing Incendio Artillery going down here to cover the point. Good job, good job. Now he just needs to get this point. He can pretty much cut off the entire right-hand side here for Fortune, but we are seeing Panzergrenadiers flanking in. We also see they're a bit lacking. We are seeing now shock troopers have been called in. They might be able to do it. Might be. And there we go. Kaput. But we also see that the Howard is ready.
You have a target?
Sturmgewehrs piercing the crew and killing the pack gunners. IS-2 unlocked, but I don't think he's going to get that anytime soon. Now the Panzergrenadiers just need to get out there before they get wiped out. And we are seeing artillery firing in here. Looks like he's shooting into the base. Shock troopers advancing straight into light machine gun fire. Additional grenadiers now arriving for Fortune. Veterans free up. Wunderbar. And the Flammenwerfer. And then a grenade. H-35 is going to need some repairs.
The enemy is attacking our HQ. You need motor support? Fresh fleet has arrived.
And I believe it's time for the mid-game analysis. Current situation is Star of the War has just been pushed back, but there's some nasty casualties, although he was able to do quite a bit of nice damage, including getting that Ostwind wiped out. But at the same time, things are standing a little less sure for him all of a sudden. The appearance of the Howards, and of course the fact there's still a support armor corps, and some considerably veteran German troops are causing a few troubles for him, and probably will. There is the pack. He could try and recruit that once more, and that would definitely prove beneficial, but still that pack, or Howards, is going to be a priority. Solutions for this are going to be a bit tricky. He hasn't got a tank he can easily rush in, so that rather leaves him with solutions from here or here. And they will probably be from here that the best solutions, either Katyusha or getting an assault gun, then rolling up reasonably close and then basically bombarding away and hoping to get the howitzer that way. It's going to be dangerous, but I think it would be the best solution. If you can get that, that would be a very large blow to Fortune. In fact, since he's expended 600 manpower on that, that might even completely rob him of any will to keep fighting then again. Probably not. But Fortune, of course, needs to keep things alive. Until then, he needs to, of course, ensure the howitzer doesn't get any, squad wipes. Otherwise, he's going to be pretty much going down pretty quickly in terms of attrition. And, of course, he might want to consider getting something here from his doctrines. A KV-8 could be interesting, really punishing against Fortune's infantry, which still composes most of his force. Or he could even try and saving up for an IS-2, although that would in itself be a bit of a risk and might not quite work out at the current moment. For Fortune, of course, is about, keeping things up. He might want to continue pressuring over here with some small forces, trying to sort of draw away Star of the War's forces from the front line at the same time, which is rather what he wants to do. I also think since he's going joint operations, he should get the officer out and use him to boost his troops as well. And I think he also should consider getting up a medic bunker, or at least use his first aid kit ability to sort of get some of his troops healed up. In particular, these two almost full man squads with very little health could really benefit from that in the longer run. A pack 40 could be an idea, but I don't really think he needs it as such at the moment. And with all the shock troops and such out, could fall into the hands of the opponent, so rather something armoured might be a bit better. But there you go, let's return to the fight. There we go, H-85 receiving repairs.
Yes, Commander.
Conscripts advancing up the right flank. Grenadiers encountered. Another light machine gun. Good job then, Fortune. Also allows his Grenadiers to operate with some degree of independence. Although, of course, having more together, work together like that, of course, is also quite nice. Another squad of shock troopers actually arrives. That's actually quite expensive. Holy moly! That was one hell of a rifle grenade right there. Rare to see, but they do happen. But a second shock trooper squad. This could either make it or break it, I think, for Starofthewar, and it's going to be rather expensive. Nice hit there from the howitzer. He's bombarding away. Panzer IV arriving here from the brigade. And a unit got wiped out. Oh no. Looks like the Grenadiers, or well, Heinz over here managed it. Except his comrades didn't. Panzer Grenadiers leading the direct assault. Panzer IV going to hit the flank. Not really a good idea to march through your own artillery fire, Fortune. Just a suggestion, just a thought. Oh, he lost the Panzer Grenadiers. And slightly silly manner too. Back. Got the H-35. Panzer IV upgrade with the machine gun on top. And the mortar crew is taking a bit of a beating right there.
We are as ready as we can be. What do you want, comrade?
But both shock trooper squads are now ready to take the fight to the fascists. Which is good. Fortune building up the rest of his forces. Time in fact to have a look back at him. Well, has indeed gone for joint operations. Shock troopers running into a bit of unexpected trouble as the Panzer IV charges in. Guns blazing.
The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
It looks like he's just bombarding the base because that's pretty much all he knows, but there might be some enemies in. Conscripts arriving as well now to try and perhaps damage the engine of the Panzer IV. Very intent on actually taking away that fuel point. Rather brave, but also considering he's using shock troopers, it's also quite expensive, which could prove to be less than good. And there we go. Damaged engine on the Panzerkampfwagen IV. Shock troopers might really want to consider relocating. Grenadiers now providing support from a nearby building for the Panzer IV. And the shock troopers are really beginning to feel it now. They are very low on health, very low on numbers. Well, mostly health.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
And finally a medic bunker is up. Grenade quickly through the window. Ooh, killing only one man. That could have gone better. And a second H-85 arriving there for Starofthewar. He's definitely on the back foot. More artillery. And he needs to get away from here. He needs to spread out. Oh, there we go. Looks like he even lost a squad of shock troopers. I mean, there's a reason why, for example, in Company Heroes, and I'll probably extend the advice here, you know, spread out your base a bit so you can actually enforce at different angles of your base, because the usual spot around your headquarters is going to be a primary target for any opponent who can fire artillery into your base. And thus, if you can get sort of at the edges of the base and reinforce there, you're usually better off. So that's a bit of advice I would like to impart onto you, my dear viewers. But that was definitely a very nasty blow there. Eventually 2 already, by the way, for the howitzer. Panzer IV quickly forced away by the Su-85.
Grenadiers standing by. Grenadiers. Our opponents are seizing
Star of the War, though, continues the good fight, pushes onwards. He is not to be deterred.
Our foes have 300 points remaining.
And we're actually noting he's taking up again. He's barely used this, but already moving on. Definitely interesting. Another reconnaissance move, really consistent use of that, which is quite interesting, but also quite good. Of course, constantly gives an idea what his opponent is doing. So lovely to see that. Bit of a reckless charge there across the centre. Quickly punished. Incendiary artillery going in as well. Might catch the pack right there. There we go. Pack crew dead. Toast, in fact. Another squad of Panzer Grenadiers out there for fortune. Su-85 advance a bit too far. Might get Panzer 1000. Mortify MG42 covering the Su-85. Actually, good move there by Star of the War. Nice little tactic. And there we go. Bun grenade in the path of the shock troopers. Gets half the squad well lobbed there. But a grenade goes back from the shock troopers. But they don't quite make it. Panzer Grenadiers instead push in and force away the troops. Definitely looking a bit overextended there. And what is this? A KV-8 heavy flamethrower tank is out for Star of the War. Looks like he's going to take the fight a bit more directly to Star of the War's infantry. We also known here, no, Fortune's infantry, that a heavy Panzer Corps is going up for the Germans. And we might see the Panzer Grenadiers get wiped out. There we go. Dead, torched, scorched, toast.
Set to go. You need something?
And not very good toast either.
Panzer here.
All Grenadiers recruiting that pack, but right in front of the KV-8. You might even see the veteran C3 Grenadier squad go down there. Pioneers getting burned. And we actually see here collapse of the front lines there of Fortune. The KV-8 might have just given him the comeback he needed. All of a sudden down to 3 squads of infantry, a howitzer and some pioneers. Of course, they've got the Panzer IV as well, but still, the KV-8 will be able to take a good hand on the German infantry and really do some serious damage. And there we go, just torching them, burning them. There's still the howitzer, of course, and that's still going to be a huge problem. In fact, most of the space just got wiped off the map. And we're seeing additional shock troops arriving here. Rather expensive choices he seems to be constantly making.
Target coordinates.
There we go, burning away.
Has arrived. Panzer IV ready.
Still able to gain a nice chunk of the map there. Company is up. And he just needs to keep these on the field.
That's it. Fully
There we go.
reinforced.
KV-8 receiving vital repairs.
The enemy is taking our territory.
Fortune might want to consider less assaults head-on when there's a KV-8 waiting straight for him. Just a suggestion anyways. The shock troops probably aren't making things any easier. But that howitzer is definitely increasingly becoming a priority target. But of course he can't quite get it without exposing himself up here. And we're actually seeing incendiary barrage going in again. Might he get it? Might he get it? Nope, not quite.
Grenadiers ready.
Grenadiers leading a flank assault. But Fortune has pretty much been pushed back into his base. And additional shock troopers. Rather a lot of resources that have been expended towards the shock troopers. Bit dangerous. He might have wanted to actually get a second combat engineer squad to begin repairing his KV-8 and H-85 a bit faster, and perhaps set up some mines. And there we go, combat engineers dead. H-85 KV-8 are the target otherwise. MG-42 overexposed here. Pioneers seeking a flank assault support by the Grenadiers. And a poor Grenadier squad up here in the west flank, overwhelmed by the shock troopers and their mighty amount of submachine guns. But at the same time, of course, it also draws away infantry from here, allowing for some thing to be pushed up here, although the KV-8 does a pretty good job of holding that away. Panzer IV, though, responds to the shock trooper assault, and in fact might soon hit Veterans U1. And there we go, in fact, even getting to crush bodies before the rest of the squad gets out of there. Shock troopers continuing. Oh, it's quick blitzkrieg going on. I wonder what he's thinking. He might have seen the H-85, of course, moving up here and decided to just get away from it. And they're going to be getting the Soviet mortar crew and then rushing straight into the H-85. That was perhaps less well done. Just a thought anyways. Getting reasonably close to being able to call in a Panther. He just needs the manpower, and looks like he might in fact be going for that very exact thing. To probably help deal with the H-85, or perhaps doing something even bigger he might be wary about coming from Star of the War. I mean, there's of course still the potential that Star of the War might be going for an IS-2, in which case the Panther IV isn't really going to do it. There we go, Panther IV in fact close to being destroyed. H-85 trying to turn out, and there we go, Veterans U3 for the howitzer. Oh dear, H-85 tried to turn down the Panzer IV, but forgot about the pack, which then got hit by an incendiary barrage in return. KV-8 moving up here, burning away. And there we go, Panther on the way. KV-8 is going to need some serious repairs.
Artillery ready.
But definitely a veteran artillery crew we are seeing here.
We have a full complement. Awaiting order. The enemy has engaged us.
Shock troopers in a slightly tricky bind. More grenades, and oh, half the squad gone. Looks like they do succeed in escaping the wrath of the shock troopers at the moment. Never mind. The flame for a half-tack though was on the spot.
The enemy is taking our territory.
There we go. Panther has arrived. And he's finally getting the officer too. About damn time. About damn time. Although it might be a bit too late now.
We need target coordinates. Standing ready for orders. Panzer here.
Pack quickly spotted. And there we go. Oh, anti-tank grenade failed to penetrate the frontal armor. What a shame, what a shame. Now the pack is pretty much defenseless. KV8 on a rampage, getting another Grenadier squad. Oh dear, oh dear. But the pack here is without a doubt lost. And a light machine gun ready to be picked up, but no one's doing it. And there we go, concentrated fire up. And Fortune going straight for his opponent's base with his Pants 4. He might even try to crush them using Blitzkrieg, but no. Then again, with the proximity right there, he just needs to fire one shot, and there we go. Combat Engineers, conscripts dead. KV8 finally rushing into the base, getting the artillery cool, but that probably would have been better if he'd done sooner on. And Veteran 2 for the Panzer 4. 28 kills. I think he might have been crushing a few under his treads. Panther on the hunt. And time to look on and start with the war actually. It might soon be game over. And there we go, in fact, game over. A bit of a shorter match, but still had some interesting bits. Some nice Soviet aggression early on. Some quick Soviet shock troops, in fact. The problem sort of rather came from the fact that he didn't quite, take full advantage of the map control he had and began, seriously mining about. I felt that might have been doing better, and then at times, I think he might have gone a bit too much overboard with the shock troopers, and probably instead should have tried to focus on getting an IS-2 up, which might have provided him with the essence, in fact, to sort of break through, or perhaps got an S-6 and then blasted this thing out of the way. I mean, he didn't ever really get around to getting that howitzer until it was very much too late, and that was definitely also another problem. He was showing a nice aggression, but also some problems here and there, as Fortune would several times then catch some of his troops sorted out here and there, and then wipe them out. Granted, Fortune himself could have benefited from some mines here and there, or perhaps even a machine gun bunker, but there you go. Overall, nice play from both sides, nice use of, well, basically doctrine. So there you go, hope you enjoyed this match, hope you learned something from it. If you did, why not subscribe or tell your friends. If you didn't, well, why not replay your own. Provide some feedback in the comments, and of course, remember to tune in later today when Relic will be showing off some new stuff on their Twitch stream. I'll of course be sure to post a link wherever I can when that time comes, so be sure to follow with. I'm pretty sure it's going to be some exciting stuff. It'll be here today, but also on Monday, so likely we'll be getting that stuff Tuesday, at least I hope so. So there you go, cheers.